Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First down gets him a couple up to the 27. This defense for the Steelers, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw is Fields. That's complete to Mooney. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Tyson Alualu. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Hunter Nicewander now. Ray McLeod deep for Pittsburgh. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
2nd down and 7. They go play action with Roethlisberger. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Roethlisberger. He'll check this down to McFarland. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think it's safe to say that that was not his primary target when the ball was snapped, and then he led him too close to the sideline, and he ended up with a loss on the play.
Yeah, great toe tap, but you lose yardage, so you wish he didn't even have the toe tap. Wish he would have been out of bounds.
Yeah, catch it. Just make sure you're out of bounds, right? Just don't get it all down as he did there.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
1-7 their record here at the midway point of the season. And right now this organization, more than likely if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves. But with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So's the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
Trucks over him. Fights through, and now a crease. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Here's Fields.
Steps away to his left.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Cameron Sutton. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
On the run, here's Anthony McFarland.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
So, Charles, you talk about this offense as we play here in Week 9 of the 2021 season. Normally, you're slipping kind of past the halfway point, but now with the season expanding to 17 games, you kind of think the teams might look up and say, gosh, we still have a lot of football left to go.
No doubt about it. And remember, they've had their open week already. So this could be a straight shot all the way from here on out. To me, the best coaches, they tell their teams, hey, I'll I'll take care of you during the week. You just leave it all out there on game day, and I'll make sure you're ready for the next one.
On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. On first down, Harris. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Roethlisberger. Short little throw to Ebron. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They hand this off to Harris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Roethlisberger going to get that to Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. On the give, this is Harris. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
2nd and 6.
Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And that falls to the ground, incomplete.
A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Back to throw, Fields.
Deep ball for Goodwin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. On second down now, it's Harris. And he stopped immediately there.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Back to Montgomery on second down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run, and you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
From the gun, here's Fields.
Flushed out right. Space to run past the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaud.
right, Coach. Thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play? Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A give. This is Montgomery. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
60 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Now Fields.
Flush to his right. It's caught outright by Graham. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Let's go.
That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit. They'll run on 1st down. It's Montgomery. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Fields going to get this to Montgomery.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
Forced out to his left. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Justin Fields
with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears draw a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud.
And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Now, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll start on the ground with Harris. Busts through the tackle. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Throw left side, taken in by Claypool. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Meanwhile, Ben's throw there hauled in by Claypool. They had 2 straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1. On the handoff, it's McFarland. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. McFarland once more. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession. And this one is incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think that part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he returns this to the 22. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney. 78 yards. And the Bears have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch.
Yeah, and that was sheer determination right there. He decided before the play, if there was a sliver, he was going to take advantage of it. Look the ball in, turned on the Jets, and took it all the way.
Ray McCloud to return. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here first and 10.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the third time he's been off target this entire game.
And Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot. And it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
7 yards there and a first down.
First down, Chicago.
Out of the gun, Fields.
Buying time to his left. That's caught, and again it's Goodwin. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
73 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ballgame.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
To throw is Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet.
And oh, he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead now up to 14. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Here's Cohen now to return.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 24.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant. You got to hold on to it. And got his man complete. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Eluding the pressure right.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On 2nd down, Montgomery powers through him, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Now it's Fields.
Dancing to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this defense has been physical all game long, and it certainly looks like they're not going to back off and make things any easier. They want to keep making life miserable for the receivers all the way to the end.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They snap it to Fields.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Roethlisberger's throw complete there to Smith-Schuster.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. On 1st down, Harris. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Roethlisberger going to throw it. It's brought in by Harris. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. For a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last